Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah wa salatu Rasulillah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Two things that I advise myself and I advise you with, my dear respected brothers. Number one, don't be a coward. Whatever you do in life, do not be a coward. This is one of the most detested things in Islam. It's for a person to be a coward, to run away, to be afraid to do something. The only time you can go back in Islam is as a strategy or to rejoin stronger forces and new resources. Cowardice behavior is not accepted in Islam in all levels and all standards. It is a huge sin to be a coward. Now, some of you might have fear. There's a difference between being afraid and being a coward. And the difference is that when you're afraid, but you still do it. You still push yourself. Many are afraid. I am afraid. I've been afraid my whole life. But I was never a coward. I've always pushed and done the things that scared me. And alhamdulillah, brought me to this point today. So do not be a coward. Whatever you do, don't be a coward. Don't be afraid to fear yet still do, if it makes sense. Number one. Number two is that you cannot be stingy. Do not be a person who is stingy and who's always miserly. That's another thing in Islam, al-bakhil. To be stingy is a huge thing. Don't be stingy. Now, this doesn't mean you have to be extravagant. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala describes Ibadur Rahman, He describes them, and when they spend, they don't la yusrifun, they don't make israf, but they're not stingy. So when I'm talking about when you give. When you take care of your family, take care of your family properly. Don't be a stingy person who's always counting and just to gather. It's like a phenomenon where you're feeling comfortable by holding on to stuff, because we love comfort. And that's let me add an extra bonus. Sorry, I said two, but let's just make it three. Witr is challenge your comfort zone. Naturally, you want to be comfortable. You want to stay in your comfort zone, isn't it? You're never gonna grow. You gotta do different things to challenge yourself. Human beings, they love comfort. You're never going to change. You're gonna just keep living your life just basically talking about what if you would have done this, what if you would have done that. All the dreams that you have, big dreams, you can't fit a big dream in a small life. You have to have also a big life. You have to challenge yourself. You have to push the horizons, push the limits. Then inshallah you'll be able to grow. Mark my words, you won't be able to grow just by always taking the shortcut. And by this, I don't mean the easier path of the truth. This was the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, of two halal paths. But I'm talking about the lazy people who never want to challenge themselves. You just work hard enough not to get fired. You just work hard enough not to get fired. And they pay you just enough not to quit. So if you're ever in that predicament, then may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide you. Push yourself. It's not something that happens overnight, but it can start overnight. Barakallahu feekum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.